Hi, my name is Jesse at Trash Panda, and it's day 4 of 5 discs in 5 days. And today's disc is a little bit of a brand crossover that I've been waiting for like 2 years. So there's one disc golf manufacturer in particular that for the last like 2 years I've been thinking, we have to do some kind of brand crossover or something. And that brand is Doomsday Discs. If you don't know of Doomsday, they are this like post-apocalyptic, end-of-the-world, doomsday, for lack of a better term, branding kind of company. So all of their discs are like end of the world. Yet at Trash Panda, we're like trying to save the world. Now for us, sustainability is obviously part of our mission. For them, end of the world is simply a brand play. It's not like they're actually trying to end the world, I guess. But because it's such a crazy opposites, yin and yang of two brands, I've always thought it'd be funny if the brands crossed over in some way. And somewhere in there we started this disc recycling program, and then guess who recently sent us a bunch of discs to recycle? That's right, the crossover you've all been waiting for, or at least that I've all been waiting for, is officially here. Kyle, what disc, if we're doing a Doomsday Recycled, what disc do we have to do it as?
The Dune.
It's gotta be a Doomsday Doom.
It's the only thing that makes sense.
It's post-apocalyptic, it's right there in front of us. There's one problem though, and that's that we're very impatient.
Yes.
So right now the inner core mold is in, and we're just gonna test it and see.
I just want to know.
So we're just gonna test like 10 pounds pretty quickly to see, because there's a couple of major questions we have. First, does it work? That's always a question.
That's
really.
always step one.
Then probably the biggest question we have in this is, does hot foil stamping affect the recycling process? So for these 10 pounds, we completely left the foil stamps on the discs, and we'll see if anything happens in the final product. There is actually a question that we haven't answered through this series yet that I want to make point of, and that's, can we recycle one-to-one as discs? So does one disc mean we get another disc? And roughly the answer to that question is yes. There are a couple of variables like the sprue, but ultimately we'll recycle this again, so there's no loss there. But the single greatest one has to do with the weight of the disc. If you don't already know, the weight of a disc is determined by the volume of the mold, so like the cavity and how much space is in there, combined with the density of the material. So let's say for round numbers, the volume of this mold is 175 cubic centimeters, and the specific gravity or the density of the material is 1, then the disc will come out weighing 175 grams. The only problem with that is that almost every single disc and every single material on the market has slightly different densities. So let's keep with the round numbers and say that the volume of this mold is 175 cubic centimeters, but the volume of the mold that the Doomsday discs are is 100 cubic centimeters. These are crazy numbers, but just bear with me. If that was the case, then it really wouldn't be one-to-one. However, we're basically trying to make sure that we have a varying set of molds, so that all of the molds we have varying volumes and thus can use different types of plastics in them. And once we've recycled so many different discs, when you average it out across the board, it really does come down to one-to-one. Because sometimes you have the inverse of the example I just gave, and you'd make more than one-to-one, and sometimes it'd be less. I'm not the best with math, so hopefully that made sense.
Not what I expected.
Let's see it.
Blornge.
Blornge?
Blornge, just like Blurple, but not as cool.
It probably will get more orange, so we'll give it some time. But the interesting thing right now, super flexible. So if you remember from day 2, that means it'll probably end up being stiff. Okay, we're only 3 discs in, so there's clearly still Baja in there. It's hard to say anything immediately, but we're seeing minor amounts of splay, which it doesn't seem to be burning the plastic, so that would probably be from the foil. We're not seeing any, I don't know if you can see through it, we're not seeing any like flecks or specks, which is interesting, and it's super shiny. Otherwise, looks fantastic. So we're probably still in Baja because it hasn't been that much. We're gonna give it probably like 5 more shots to see if we can get a good color. But processing wise, Kyle, it's great.
A few moments later.
So we are almost through the 10 pounds, and processing wise, it's going insanely smooth. Hot foil stamp wise, there's like slight contamination on some of the discs. It's not too noticeable. But color wise, the orange disc that you previously saw looked like death. I guess it's only like fitting and on brand that the color is so deathly. But how, Kyle?
I have no idea.
We've never once made something from a color, ran it through, and then it was a completely different color like this.
Yeah, I've seen nothing like it before, so I don't even know where to begin. I have the camera, it's very expensive. So Jesse ran to the restroom. I want to talk about the color a little. So I've done a bunch of tests of different plastics, but every time I've ran like an orange premium translucent plastic, it's come out of the machine looking orange. So I don't know why this is coming out not orange. I don't think it's related to the stamp. It could be. But we're learning. We'll see what the rest of them look like. Oops. I think it's still recording. I don't know how to make it stop. Hold on. Edit all this out.
Okay, some of the first discs that came off have officially cooled down. I wanna feel the difference here. So Baja is typical Baja, pretty flexible. You know it, you love it. And Doomsday, oh yes, okay. So it's not too flexible. That's the best part of this, but it's got some really nice rigidity to it. It's nice and flat. It feels pretty good. Kyle, what do you think?
It feels like great plastic. I actually really like the hand feel of this.
So here's what we're gonna do. We are gonna try again with a little more material in the Dune mold, because at the end of the day, it's making a great disc. The color is just stumping us a little bit. So we will revisit this as soon as we have the Dune mold in the machine. For you, it'll be like, and just like that, the Dune mold is in and running. And now, even though these look good, we should make some end of the world dunes.
Yes, we should.
So now you and I both know that it looks so orange, but we'll see what it comes out looking like. So today was a fail. Wasn't meant to be. We don't have time to fix this, and all we're getting is weirdly overweight dunes.
Yes.
But the major problem here is not feel. It's not, assuming it wouldn't be flight, because these probably fly really well. It's weight and time. We just don't have any more time. So we may revisit this one day, but I think we've got like 10 overweight ones that 10 people can get if they want them. Unfortunately, it's just not our day. And that was bound to happen in these 5 days. But I really, really hope that tomorrow we can still end strong, because I'm very excited about tomorrow. If anything, when setting up this whole 5 days, tomorrow was the day I was thinking about the most and the most excited about. So that's a bummer. Is what it is. And we'll see you tomorrow.